ponytail, so I'm worried straight on it's gonna look like I have no hair.
No.
But I guess
if
if
yours
you don't
looks
have
like
to.
if yours looks like no hair, mine will too.
No, you won't, because you have the bang up front.
Okay, never mind.
But like straight on right now, you can tell I have hair.
Yeah, I can tell you have some hair. Just a little bit of hair.
Just feeling
you know.
worried. Okay. Whew.
Wow.
Now I'm ready to record.
I'm Nora Freed.
And I'm Hannah Gerlander.
And this is
New Yorker of the Week. I went all the way down with that.
New Yorker of the Week.
New Yorker of the Week. And if you're listening, you have no idea. But if you're watching, you can tell
that there's a guest.
There's someone here
sitting
with us.
right on next to us. This is a really important episode because this is our episode of love.
Mm-hmm.
And it
guidance.
is coming, and love guidance. It's coming out just a couple days before Valentine's Day.
2 days before. So you can listen up.
Take action.
And get things right for the 14th.
Yeah, this is all about who do you love? Where are you loving? Mm-hmm. What do you love? Where do you want to go?
Maybe not to love. More love.
Maybe fuck love. Maybe you're on a new love journey. There's lots of ways to interpret this.
Jace, that was perfect.
That was really good.
We did that. What did we say word for word? You said, I think I'm going to do sweatshirt. And we were like, really? No, you look great. Like at the exact same way.
Yeah, we're aligned. Speaking of aligned, we actually have a guest who goes by Aligned with Emma. I just pulled
that
out.
That was really good. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's her
name.
TikTok. We have Emma Haberman here joining us for New Yorker of the Week. She is a licensed somatic therapist, and she's a social worker, and she's a Hatha yoga instructor. And for her therapy work, she specializes in relationships and attachment styles. So who better than to have on our love episode for Valentine's Day than Emma Haberman? Emma, welcome. Emma, welcome.
Thank you. So
I didn't know you specialize in attachment styles.
Yeah, she's ready to fucking rage.
I could talk about that. Could have its whole own episode.
I feel like this is going to be a really fun episode.
Yeah,
because a lot of the stuff that we talk about is we can kind of review it with her.
Yeah.
You know,
there's so much.
Maybe we can tell you like the advice we give each other, and then you can tell us if it is good
check it off.
Not.
So we'll start off. Well, how are you, Emma?
I'm so good. It's so great to be here. I'm really excited. This is my favorite podcast.
That's really nice.
I've been listening since day one. So
it's our first time having a fan on.
Yeah.
This is big in a lot of ways.
You guys are always in my top, in the review for Spotify. You're always in my top 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Wow, this is amazing.
So
quick sip. We have so many beverages
drinks.
at the table.
All of them could spill on my laptop.
No, this is like the worst. And in the middle of the table are 2 really valuable items.
Totally.
The thing we need for the podcast, and the second thing we need for the podcast, and that you need for work and life. And we have.
We take risks.
4, 6, 8.
We like to take risks on love and life. Right?
And we're doing that here today.
Emma, so, okay, it's almost Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of us is single. And honestly, I mingled last night and it was a little random. So I don't know how much mingling I'm doing, but I'm trying. Mm-hmm. Another one of us, Hannah here, is on the long-term
headed
go
into
up.
Year 4.
Year 4.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Do you want to give her the lowdown? But we can both do our little lowdown of
my lowdown on my relationship.
Should we start with date, like the single dating?
Yeah, should we start with the singles or should we start with the relationships?
Either more, whatever you think we can really get into. What do you think the people want to hear about more?
Well, let's start with dating, because dating leads into
what I've got going on.
Amazing
relationships.
So
right?
so I'm on the chopping block right now.
We can we'll start.
Okay.
We'll
actually, last night I did pitch and pair, which was I was pitched in front of like 500 people and by a
and it's paying off already.
Yeah, in some ways. I have some people who won't stop texting me now. Okay. So I think there's some boundaries I need to draw there, but boundaries meaning blocking people. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting. But I've been dating, as you know. Got kicked off some apps. We got you back on some apps, but dating sucks right now, and I'm assuming a lot of our listeners feel the same way. Do you have any advice? What's the deal?
Yeah, dating is really intense. And
it
hard.
is. It's the worst thing in the world.
It's really intense. I think my number one thing to say about dating to start is it should be fun.
Mm-hmm. It's not.
Right? It's not. But like, if you're not having fun, take a break.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need it. You know, you don't need to.
But what if what if you're 33 and you're like freaking out?
Totally, I can relate.
Yeah,
as a 33-year-old single woman in New York, right? Yeah. Like, it's not easy to relax into it, but I think that where people get stuck is like when it feels like a chore, it feels like a drag, it feels like something like an obligation, like you have to because you're getting all this pressure, and then you're miserable. Like last night, did you have fun doing this like new different thing that was off the apps, like something a little bit more like exciting?
I did have a really good time.
Step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like,
it is also nice to do it with like a friend, like who like was backing me up, and like and there were some other people I knew there, so it just felt like more of like a party
instead of like a solo. I'm showing up, I'm meeting someone, a stranger, putting myself out there, hoping it works.
Exactly.
Too risky sometimes.
And it sounds like you're fielding a lot of incoming like you're receiving a lot from that event, and maybe some of it good, some of it bad. But I do think that like receptive nature rather than like pushing out all the time, like putting out all the time, like you went to this thing, you put yourself out there, and then now you have all these people reaching out to you because you like had a good time, you were relaxed, you were having fun, you were with your friend. Like, it seems really positive.
I just think that I'm not attracting the right people sometimes, and I think that's something that I'm trying to figure out. I bought this book recently called Men Love Bitches. I actually haven't cracked it open yet. I've been a little busy.
You don't, from what you've told me though, you don't need to, because it seems like the exact no. No, it seems like the exact steps that I used to take. Like,
you found it.
I get
like
a lot of my
this,
relationship advice from this one over here.
And I always hear, and we can stay in the single world, but I always hear that my advice doesn't work out.
Okay.
But the only advice I have for being in a long-term relationship is this advice for being in this relationship with Wolf, where I was not nice and I was not too into it. I was like doing my own thing, and he was kind of in my way for a little bit.
Right.
And that caused him to be way up my ass.
I do think I've seen the book. I have.
You know the book. Have you read it?
I started it last
She
time
started
I was
she
here.
was like, Nora, this is really
You started
toxic.
it here.
I read it. I started it here.
I was like, Emma, my therapist friend, I have this amazing book that I'm using instead of going to therapy. And she looked at it and was like,
and it's Men Love Bitches.
Men Love Bitches. I think there's something there. I think there's something to, I don't know if I'm totally sold on like being mean, but it can work for some people. Like, some people like that. Like, that's the vibe. There's like, it's like kind of like sexy and fun. You're like, oh, I don't totally know this person. I like have to, not playing games, but like it's just like, it's a little cat and mouse, and that keeps things kind of exciting, right? Like, there's this, do you know Esther Perel is? She's like a leader in intimacy and relationships. And she says,
watch out, Esther. We have another one coming through.
we're working our way.
Watch out.
Working our way, baby steps.
Yeah.
But she says that when you start to feel responsible for your partner is when you lose eroticism, basically. So like when you start to like mother and you start to be like so available, so like jumping in for their needs at all times, at all costs, is when you both stop to lose interest. It's not just like the man, right? Like, I think there's a little bit, and we're also, I should caveat what we're talking right now. We're like heteronormative.
The worst relationships.
Yeah. Like, we're not really, we're just talking about your guys' experiences. Yeah. So it's like specific, but there is this thing of like, oh, like you want the like man to chase you, and that gives you the power. And there's something there, and like you both kind of want to play with power, right? Like you want that to kind of like go back and forth. What I don't know if I agree with is you have to be like so dismissive of them to get their attention.
Because I feel like the underlying of Men Love Bitches, like, I don't think I definitely was bitchy on and off and still am, but what's underlying that, especially in the beginning, was that I was fully confident in myself and my own thing and didn't really need him, which was a mix of like, I'm probably attracted to this woman because she's so confident and so sure of herself, and she doesn't seem to like care about me, so like, what's that about? Like, I feel like that was, but it sometimes was definitely bitchy.
I think that also is what I was saying earlier, where it's like this should be fun, it should be additive dating. You should be like, I'm enjoying this because these other parts of my life are like great. I love my friends, I love my job, I love whatever it is, I love my hobbies, I love to work out, like I know the way I like to spend my time, so I don't need this person. And then I think that like takes the pressure off dating, and then it can just make it a little bit more interesting, because you're like, I've got a lot going on, like then they're like, oh, maybe I'm intrigued. Maybe I want to see, like, step into their world a little bit, right? Instead of like, I think what can happen sometimes in dating is you're like, oh, I don't have anything going on for myself. Like, I feel like I need this to, like, survive. And that's where it can get, like, just, like, really not fun at all, you know? But anyways, to your point around, like, the chase, I think there's definitely something to the chase.
Yeah. I think that's why I liked him more, is because he was, like, so up my ass. I was like, what's going on? Especially because not exactly before him. I was doing actually pretty well romantically before Wolf as well. I'm doing well romantically with him.
For you.
But like before that, it was like, you can't get a guy to text you back.
Yeah.
So then when there's men kind of up your ass, you're kind of like, well, I want to see what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because the other end of the spectrum is dating is like, you're thinking you're having an amazing time and then you never hear from them again. So then when a guy's a little bit up your ass, you're like, okay, well, I kind of want this to last as long as possible.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
But I guess that's maybe toxic if you were my therapist and I said that.
Which part do you think is toxic about it? Like,
probably that I want him, like, desperate for me up my ass as long as possible.
I think there's something there. Like, there's
there's something
there.
there.
I'm not gonna say it's toxic. I'm gonna say that, like, again, it's the like want not need thing. You know what I mean? It's like, is that just because it's fun? Is it because it feels good? Or is it because you're like, I'm really not confident in myself and I don't like myself without this person and I need their validation to, like, make it so that I believe that I'm worthy, right?
Okay,
like, that's
where
I
fun.
think, more for fun. For fun, it's fine. Like, it's fun to have someone obsessed with you. Of
It's
course,
the best.
It feels great.
Yeah, I feel like I'm really in my zone right now, and it's almost to the point where I don't even put myself in positions where I would find people.
Well, you literally went to a pitch in whatever it's called.
No, I know, I know, but, like, I'm just saying, like, I'm like doing my own thing so much sometimes throughout the week. I don't even have time to go dating. I don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
and do you miss dating, or are you, like, kind of relieved?
I mean, it is fun to have dates every now and then, but they all just end up in just these really weird situations, like, very strange. Like, I'm seeing you for a couple months or even longer than that, and then all of a sudden something shifts, and then I don't really know what it is. Or, like, a classic is we're hanging out, we're having an amazing time. They're telling me they want to be the father of my children. That's happened a lot. You're so amazing. I'm going to take you home, all this stuff. Then they want to come home with me. I say, I don't do that on the first date. And it's like,
these are things on the first date.
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, no, this is so
remember
weird.
I was going to mother your children.
Yeah, let's talk about, like, red flags.
You
know what I mean? Like, this is
classic
red
flag.
flag. Just like first date, second date. I'm going to be the mother. You're going to be the mother of my children. Never speak to you again. Like, even if they had, I don't love somebody coming in and being like, we're going to be together for the rest of our lives. Like, you are the one I've been waiting for on the first date.
Yeah.
We just, like, we don't know. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Let's just, like, take
and
a
it's
breath.
like a lot to put on a person.
And
It's
then
a
the
lot.
ghosting thing. I don't know your experience, but I think for a lot of women who are dating men, again, like, keeping this in the kind of, like, heteronormative dynamic.
Yeah.
It's like that happens, and then they take it on as a reflection of themselves. And that's, like, the tricky part. That's the thing that I think is important to tease out, is, like, that's about that, like, really random man, not about you. Like, that they settle these things and then they ghost. Because I think and maybe you don't feel this way, but, like, for some people, if they had that experience where someone was saying all these things and validating them and it felt so good and they slept together and there's, like, an attachment that's already forming and then they never hear from them again, that could be really disrupting and unsettling.
Totally.
And
that's why I don't do that anymore. I'm like,
Totally.
I'm not going to have you come over.
I think it's a good boundary.
Yeah.
You know? And
then,
it's like,
do
it, you know.
And, like, the right normal person will respect it.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm also
Completely.
trying to give people a chance. Like, I went out with that guy. There was one guy who was attractive. He had a cool job, blah, blah, blah. We went out 3 times. He didn't even try to kiss me. And the conversation was a little, and so I
bored.
really, really tried.
Yeah.
Because I also know that, like, if you feel a spark, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the good person for you.
Who is that lady?
Jillian Tarecki.
Who said no
she
spark?
Says, no, she says it's not about no spark. It's you're not necessarily going to feel the spark on the first date, or maybe the second date, or maybe the third date, and that's okay. But I think with the person you're talking about, you were bored.
Yeah,
with that person.
I was like, oh my god.
It's just that
These
spark can
dates.
build, right?
Yeah.
And chemistry sometimes can get confused for like security and connection. They're like two different things.
Yeah.
You can go after the sparkly, hot, sexy guy who's exciting, but if he can't follow through or communicate with you or send you a text the next day, like
it's not worth it.
So
No.
lame. What are other red flags do you
or
think
like
in dating?
secret red flags.
Secret.
Like things people let go that are like, you need to watch out of that.
Yeah.
secret.
The biggest.
I don't
your
know.
biggest
I think
secret.
the biggest, like my secret for date, like red flag to look out for. I think the biggest thing is beliefs. Like when someone tells you who they are, believe them. Like if somebody, if you're on Tinder or you're on whatever, you're on Hinge and it says like short-term fun, open to long, read short-term fun. Just stop at short-term fun, right? Like if you don't want short-term fun, don't go out with this guy. You know, like they're not gonna just change. You're not gonna change them. That's the second biggest thing. Is it's actually less of a red flag about another person. It's like catch yourself. I think if you're dating someone and you're starting to like get attached, notice that you're like really enjoying spending time with them, but you're like, yes, but I have to change that thing. And when that thing changes, then I'm gonna be happy with them. That's where people get, I think, kind of trapped and stuck because then we like form these bonds and we feel really excited about the person, but in the back of our head or in our intuition we're like, but I know that I need them to like ask me how my day was for me to feel like secure in this, but maybe I can like teach them how to do that. People can change, but you have to like take the person as they are when you first meet them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People totally can change. People can grow. Like I'm a therapist, obviously I believe that, but also you have no idea when that's going to happen.
That's a hard one though, because there's another set of, I would say, older women who are like, you train them. Like there's like, I would say like my mom's generation is like, they're all bad and they all need to go to school and they're going to school with you.
I completely agree. My mom.
I left my cat with Hannah
things.
once, and she trained her.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Right now, she's giving us major cold
I was
shoulder.
like, "How's everything going with Margot?" And she said, "She's doing well in the training." I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize she was in training."
She was being very shy at my house. I wanted her to open up.
Yeah, she needs to open the fuck
but like,
up.
there is like, okay, let's say that's like a man, right? Like if the man is very shy and you want them to open up. Like that's
Wolf,
like an example. Okay, Wolf, is that something that goes on in your relationship? Like,
Okay, maybe not shyness. He's maybe like introverted, but he's also then not. Like he likes to like be out in like the scene and stuff.
This is what I think about this, about the advice from like our mom's generation, because my mom says the same thing. I think that you can totally teach, whatever. You can bring a horse to water and then it can decide if it drinks or whatever. So that's what the saying is.
Yeah.
You can, I don't want to say train men, but you can like adapt behavior, right? Like by being with men. But you have to decide ahead of time what's a non-negotiable for you. And if they don't meet those non-negotiables, I think that's where you have to check in.
Yeah.
Right. Like if for you with Wolf, it's like, I want him to be more extroverted, but it's okay. I'm okay with his being introverted. I just want like more of him out. Like I want to spend more time with him out. That to me doesn't sound like a deal breaker. Like I want kids. He doesn't want kids.
Right. The big things. Yeah.
The big things. Yeah. Right. Like, or I don't know what another one is. Like, your family is important to you, and to him he's like, I never really want to spend time with your family because I would rather us just do every vacation alone. Like everybody has a different list. So I also think the list of the like, what do I want, what's like if I could have everything, make the list, I write that down. Pie in the sky, you can literally have whatever you want. Zoran. Right, so like want Zoran, but then like what do you actually need? Willing to
like literally nothing but Zora.
No, okay, so that's fine.
Want the things that you want versus the things that you actually need. Like what are the non-negotiables? What are the things that you're like, I'm not willing to not have this. So you with this guy with the 3 dates, you were not having fun.
He wasn't my
And you
Zoran.
need to have fun.
And I think you need to have fun. Some people
because
don't.
you're fun. So
you're
like
fun, girl.
So this is actually my issue, and I'm going to say this, and then anyone who's listening, or maybe even this circle here, don't be like, this is an annoying thing to say, because it is kind of annoying.
I don't think we will, but okay.
I'm so fun that I can make any situation fun, and therefore I never know if I'm having a bad date.
But don't you ever feel though like, wow, I'm doing the work to make this fun?
Yeah, I just like I'm like riffing, I'm hanging out, I'm doing my thing, and I'm just like because ultimately at the end of the day, if I'm out with you, it means that I'm using my spare time, which is very little, to hang out and do something. And if I'm doing something, I want to have a good time. So even if I'm with someone who's not fun, I'm kind of like keeping the conversation going, and I don't even recognize later until much, much later that, oh my God, I just did all the work there. I see that.
See, because I had the experience with
like that too.
a group hang the other day, and then it was just one person. Like I was realizing that if I stopped what I was doing for the group, at this experience, like there's not going to be convo, and I was like, that's not good for me. Like I need to know that like I can chill, I can wait, and like we can still have fun together. I can't have the stress.
Carrying the whole thing. But there's like,
but it's hard.
For you, you're right. You're like the best time, life of the party, you can keep any conversation going. But if you walk away from that and you're like, that wasn't additive, I didn't get anything, I just had fun because I was there, because you can do that by yourself. Then don't see that person. I mean, some people like Jillian Turecki will say like, go on the second date, go on the third date, give it a try. I'm a little bit like, if you're like, no, like I'm bored, I'm not having a good time, just call it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, especially if you have limited time, limited energy, like,
and you're like, I carried that whole thing.
Yeah. And I don't always, and I'm not always a pocket of joy or pocket full of sunshine. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm a witch, and I'm an angry, bitter lady. So maybe I'm bringing that energy too. I don't know. You know, it depends on the news. But
you should be having fun.
Yeah.
Like, it should be fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a little bit like not sure about the person, you're like, oh, like I kind of carried that, but I don't know. There's like something about them that's like kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They seem like a solid person.
Yeah.
Go on the second date.
Okay.
If you walk away from it and you're like, I literally carried that entire thing.
What are your, like, how about age? So, like, a lot of people last night were coming up to me and they were 27. And I was like, this guy that's messaging me incessantly is 27 years old. And I said to him, I was like, I'm so sorry. I can't do that. I'm sorry. And he was like, come on, I'm turning 28 in just a couple days. And I was just like, and I said, when's your birthday? He's like, April. I was like, okay, that's not. And the thing is like,
wait, did you guys have the same birthday?
He's April 18th and I was April 17th.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's kind of funny.
Oh my God, that is kind of funny.
Know. I'd be turning like 50 when he's turning 20. But then I met a 28-year-old later on who I really loved. And when I met you, you were 28 or something.
I'm 28 right now.
Yeah, you're 28 right now. So, but that's the thing. You know what I mean? It's like, but then something about this boy being 27, it's so weird how you process it. Because then I met a 28-year-old. There's something about, if you said you were 27 versus 28, like my lowest number is 28. But then when I'm just thinking like 27, I'm like, what the fuck, this baby?
I know.
There's a shift.
Yeah.
But then my mom married my stepdad, and they've been in an amazing relationship for like over 20 years. And she was 36 and he was 28. And when they started dating, it was amazing. I also, my aunt and uncle are like 14 years apart.
I wish we could scrub the ages.
I think
so complicated.
So this is what I think about age. I think that the apps make this really tricky and hard, because I think when you're on the apps and you can set this age limit, and then it's sort of like, is it like confirmation bias when you keep talking to like 27-year-olds who are like really flaky or just like are really not aligned, but you're matching with them, so you're like, it's confirming this idea that they're not ready or they're not the right, you know, they're not mature enough. But the reality is a lot of 30, 33, 35, 40, 45-year-olds. Like,
I dated a 40-year-old for a while, and he totally just screwed me over. I acted like a child at the end.
Yeah,
like, it was awful.
I don't think
he was 39, but
I don't think age has nothing to do with it, right? Like, I think, you know, your prefrontal cortex, like your reasoning, your exexecutive functioning,
right? Like
part
the
of your brain,
26
you're 25,
thing
26
is
when that fully develops. So like
27
for a
is a first
33-year-old,
year.
a 24, 25, maybe 26-year-old, like I think that's gonna feel young. Maybe, but not necessarily. I mean, they could be really mature, really know themselves. But I think that the apps make it hard, because I think the apps, you have this assumption like, okay, I'm going to go out with this 27-year-old or this 28-year-old, but I know what they're after. Like, I know what it's going to be. I know, I'm already assuming. And so maybe meeting the whole, so another, I love Esther Perel. I think she's so brilliant. But one of her things, and this is harder to do in practice, but she really believes that, like, she calls it analog dating, going back to like the in-person. She really thinks the apps are like the demise of relationships and
agree.
intimacy.
They are.
Which
They
I
are.
agree. I think they make it really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And so she says, because on the apps you have like, here's my checklist that I'm looking for. Are they this age, this height, this job, this school, this wherever they're from, this neighborhood in New York, like, and you're checking off the boxes. And inevitably, if you're trying to check boxes, you're going to be disappointed when you meet the person, because that's just not the way to like really get to know someone or meet someone, is going in with this assumption. So what she says is check your own boxes. Like, this is what I was kind of saying before. Build up your own life. Be the person that you're really excited to share. Like, be like, I really know myself. Like, and then the right people, you'll be in the right spaces. You'll attract the right people. So I know this event last night wasn't like the be all end all. You found your husband, but it was you had your friend, like this glowing review of who you are. And I listened to the recording of your pitch, and it was amazing. Like, your life is so full. You're so dynamic. You're so wonderful. And maybe the person wasn't at this event, but maybe they would be at something like it in the future, right? Like, I don't know. It's hard because we're all addicted to the apps and to our phones.
It's like a game.
It's such a
like
game.
it feels like it's
so gamified. But I do think that if we can like pull away from them a little bit, or try to get rid of some of the like expectations and assumptions before we meet the person. But it's super hard.
I know. I've gone to probably like 4 or 5 in-person events in my time here, which I feel like is a lot and they've been really tough. We've had some really dark ones, and I've kind of gone all across the city too. I've been to Midtown. I've been to downtown Brooklyn. I've been one in Williamsburg. Like, I'm really like branching out. I did religious ones. I did non-religious ones. I did something that was like, so everyone seemed to have like some sort of issue physically, what I mean?
I do recall
so
that one.
was also a different which is fine.
That's
which is
fine.
fine. I'm just saying there were a lot of different
events.
But I'm not even just saying dating events. I should clarify, like going on, like your yoga retreats, or like doing things that are exciting to you, right? Like traveling. You went to Portugal. You had a fun little fling in Portugal.
Well, that was really difficult in Portugal because I really liked this guy. We had an amazing night, and then he was like, we had such a fun night. We were out for like 5 hours. We went to we had this beautiful dinner, like looking out onto the city, and we were like chain smoking cigs and making out. And then we like went to a jazz bar and had so much fun. We were like in an alley, and the jazz bar came out, and we were like, the jazz like band came out, and we were all like singing and making out. And then I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna go home. And but I'll be here for a couple of days. We should meet up. And he was like, wait, I'm not coming home with you. And I'm like, no, we're in I'm alone in a foreign country, and I don't know you that well. And he's like, what do you mean you don't know me? We've been together for like 5 hours. And I was like, yeah, but like, I'm not going to bring you back to where I'm staying. I'm staying alone. Like,
and also your reaction right now is making me
and
feel
he's like,
even better about my decision.
More. He's like, there's nothing more to get to know me. And I'm like, please don't ruin this. Like,
it's also like, that's not true. There is, if we moved in together tomorrow, I'd probably learn a lot of new things immediately. There's a lot to learn about you.
And I was just like, what? And then he got really frustrated with me. And then I was just like, well, this kind of sucks because we just had such a fun night. I said, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, I'm not doing I'm free. I'm here by myself. And he was like, I don't know. I'm working really late tomorrow. And I was kind of like,
that's so gross.
Right.
I mean, that's the kind of thing I'm saying, like, listen when they tell you who they are. You know what I mean? Like, if you lived in New York and you went on that date and it happened here, and then he reached back out and was like, hey, sorry, I was in like a weird mood. Sorry about that. Can we try again?
No,
that's not your guy.
Yeah, because you're only in a weird mood because you're realizing, if I was cooler, I could have maybe had sex.
That's like, not all, whatever, not all men. Hashtag not all men, but like not all men do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to sleep with you. I'm just trying to like have this, like, have sex, get out, whatever. Yeah. But some men do, right? Yeah. And it's like, that's just not.
It was so weird, and then he
guy.
was like, it was just really weird. I mean, I look back at it as like a fun night, but
those are just like scary situations to be in as well. When you say no to a guy and you're alone and they snap at you, it's like,
really.
Do you think now I'm gonna be like, oh, sorry, okay, come over, my bad?
I used to be. I used to when I was in my early 20s. I'd be like, okay, I guess.
Sorry,
and
come
then
over.
It was like, and then it's like, what's the consent there?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, dating. Do you have anything else to say on dating before we move into the relationship? Because we're. What do you think? Did you have? I know you came with
advice
bunch of notes
for the singles.
Is there anything specific that you wanted to share with our listeners on?
Also, how many attachment styles are there?
There's like 70 and everyone's like physical touch.
Here's the thing about attachment styles.
Isn't that?
Oh, sorry.
Wait, that's different.
Physical. That's love language.
Love language.
We can talk about. love language.
My attachment style.
It's a little bit of like pop. It's a little pop psychology. Those things, but like they can be useful for people.
I mean, who doesn't have physical touch?
That's what I believe. I sort of think as humans, but some people.
I really don't.
Around physical, yeah, like
I really don't like physical touch.
Don't like
I know. I
just
really
feel like
wanted to give you
people
a hug when you came back from Puerto Rico, but like I know you don't.
I don't know what it is.
I just kind of
I hug
like,
when people want to hug.
I know.
I don't know why. It's like and this is actually why it's tricky. I feel like I reserve physical touch for Wolf. Like when Wolf and I don't have physical touch, I'm like spiraling. But like if like my mom wants a hug, I'm like, okay, like here we go. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is.
Here
or like
we go.
if someone's bumping knees with me, like even a friend on the couch, I'm literally just thinking like, oh my, I gotta get my knee out of here.
But
and I don't know what that is. But like just
Wolf. But if you don't mind it, if you
Yeah.
like it with your partner, I mean, everybody's different.
Yeah.
But if it's not an issue for you, I don't think it's an issue.
It also was something that like I feel like I held back from men for so long. I was like, well, we're not going to be cuddling. We're not going to be holding hands because I know how this is going to go. We're not actually going to date. I don't like you. You don't like me. Like, let's just keep it going. Yeah. So then when Wolf and I got serious and I realized that we like each other and then I realized I like physical touch with him, I feel like that was like, okay, well, I don't want anyone to ruin this for me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lock this in here.
Yeah. Lock it in.
Yeah.
The last things I'll say, and this is true not just in dating. Well, this is mostly early dating before, though people get into relationships with emotionally unavailable people. But
it's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I think in dating especially, try to stop yourself from analyzing or overanalyzing emotionally unavailable people. Like spending all the time trying to make sense of their ghosting or their behavior, or like you're going on these dates and you're like, I'm not getting anything. This feels like a game. I feel like I'm chasing. No chasing. We don't need to be chasing. No one needs to be
I don't
chasing.
chase, I attract.
I don't chase, I attract.
That's what
big
they say.
Affirmation, big manifestation.
Yeah.
What?
No. I'm working.
You know
on
that slogan.
Oh, I know. Remember, I had the sign up in my bathroom for a long time.
I've never seen that one in your bathroom.
Yeah, I took that one down.
What was it?
I don't chase, I attract.
There's nothing worse than when you go home with a guy. He's pressuring you to go home. You want to come? Okay, you want to come home? Welcome to the Post-it notes. Because literally, I live alone, baby.
We've got mantras in the bathroom.
We've got mantras all around. So literally, it's like, I don't chase, I attract. Growth is uncomfortable. Don't drink today.
They're
literally, they're all over.
They learn a lot really quick.
And I'll like say like, all right, you can come, but I got some stuff I gotta take down. And then they're like, no, just be yourself. And it's like literally above my ceiling on my bed. It's like just breathe and you'll have a boyfriend in days. Like it's just like it's so creepy. So it's like you really want to come over, you're gonna see the whole thing. Okay.
Oh my God, how did that happen?
I took down a lot of my notes though.
Diet Coke in my eye.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
keep going. Give you a little bump.
That was just kind of shocking.
Oh, God.
Okay, keep going.
So, you want to know about the attachment styles a little bit?
Yeah. Wait, I thought there were only like 4.
There are 4 main ones.
I knew it. Okay.
You got it. You know, do you have a sense of what your attachment style is? Do you know? Have you done this?
I haven't had a therapist talk about attachment styles in a really long time. So like in my 20s, they said I was anxiously attached, but I don't know if that's still my attachment style.
Okay.
I think I'm a mix of avoidant and anxious. And I think you know that I'm big avoidant for a lot of things, and then I'm anxious if I actually like you. Yeah.
So that
but definitely not secure. That's not.
What are the 4 again? It's anxious.
So
avoidant.
Anxious,
there's like all the good ones, and there's one good one, and
secure
the rest are bad.
is well. Let's say not. Okay. Let's say not good. We're trying. Everybody is trying to work towards security in their attachment, right? Like we're all trying to work towards becoming more secure, and that comes from our friendships, and then our romantic partners are the ones that like really sort of like challenge us into like push us, hopefully, in moving towards more security. Anxious, avoidant are the other 2 sort of like main ones that people talk about. Anxious avoidant is also one, what you're describing, but disorganized attachment.
What is that one?
Wait, maybe I've that.
You might have a little bit of disorganized.
I've never heard of this.
I don't think you have. I'm not going to diagose you because I'm not going to do that.
Please.
But
please.
I won't. But
okay.
I'm dying to know what disorganized is.
I think you're more anxious avoidant. So disorganized attachment. So maybe I should explain attachment theory just a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
So when we're born, we look to our parents or our caregivers to understand obviously the world and make sense of what's safe and what's dangerous. So if we look to them for love, nurturing, care, support, basically everybody's parents, because we are in a very dysfunctional system, everybody's parents are pretty dysfunctional. Like almost everybody's caregivers are dysfunctional. So we basically absorb that dysfunction in different ways. And our attachment styles are sort of like reflective of what is happening with our parents, like when we're babies, pre-verbal, before we know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
So with disorganized attachment, it's usually when the home dynamic, so you're a baby and you look to your mom and you think this person is like the symbol of like love, intimacy, security, safety, and maybe she like can take you in some, but then there's in the most extreme cases like abuse or neglect, so it's like very unsafe. So there's like a reaching, right? There's like a reaching out for like comfort and safety and care, but then you're met with like maybe violence or neglect or something, and so then you get really confused. So then you start to, in your relationships, reach out for love and intimacy and connection, but then it gets really scary really quickly, so then you pull away because you're like, this, I can't trust this. Like I can't trust that this person is actually going to stay safe, because when I was a baby, it wasn't actually safe. Like home wasn't safe for me.
Okay, got it.
So that's like the most kind of, there's like a push and pull that's happening. I would say that's like one of the more extreme, not extreme isn't the right word. It's one of the more like complex, usually there's like abuse or neglect involved in home when it comes to disorganized attachment. So anxious and avoidant are what most people are falling into.
And anxious, if you're anxiously attached, that means like you, like what, you spiral when they're not around?
Yeah.
Where avoidant, if you're avoidantly attached, when there's an issue, you just want to be out.
Yeah. So when you're avoidantly attached, and this might be where you relate to some of, like, feel like some of this, you really prioritize like your independence and your sense of self. And you're like, anybody trying to come into my circle is, I don't want that. I need to like protect what I've built for myself.
I'm big that.
Ultimately, because you're scared of intimacy. Usually it's like, because like maybe that was what was going on with your parents, where you would like reach out to them and they were really emotionally unavailable and they were really distant. Maybe there was some neglect. Like, so for you, it's like, that's how you keep yourself safe, because that's how you always did, because you kind of had to just rely on yourself. And like maybe being an only child, I actually don't know any of the statistics on like only children and avoidant attachment, but it would be kind of interesting to look at that. Because as an only child, like you are relying on yourself for a lot of like, you know, like just like taking care of yourself. Anxiously attached is kind of the opposite, where your parents are like a little more like overbearing and more like maybe even looking to the child for reassurance.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wouldn't say they weren't like overbearing like that.
Yeah. But maybe they're looking to you for their own like sense of like security and safety. So they're like projecting a lot onto you all the time. Like you're absorbing like their expectations. And so with anxious attachment, it can look like
not anxiously attached.
It can look like codependence. Like it can look like commonly like if you're dating someone and they don't text you back, you like freak out, you get really anxious, or you get anxious, you get really like worked up, concerned. You can't like self-soothe basically. And then that causes like a really intense, like kind of like visceral reaction. Whereas somebody who's more avoidant, maybe if they don't get a response to a text, they're like, well, I don't need them anyways. And I'm big.
Walk away. When I used to be very anxious. I still am sometimes. Like I'm still, but then if I'm always like, well, I don't need them. Fine. Blah. And then it's like, Nora, like that's not fair.
And secure is like you can just like handle
secure. You're just a perfect person.
You can just like handle what
like,
you're going through.
I got a text. I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna do that.
You're chill.
Yeah. Secure just means that you're not getting like so dysregulated from your whatever it is that your partner's doing. So you can kind of like take a step back. There's like less reactivity. There's less codependence. There's more like, I'm pretty confident in the person that I am, and I see you and your flaws, and I'm going to do my best to like turn towards you and not get like, you know, overly defensive. Like with anxious attachment, like defensiveness can be really big, where you're like, I must have my point be known. I need to make sure that they understand where I'm coming from.
That sounds good to me.
Sounds, yeah, it's super common. The other thing with
We might both be a
attachment,
mix.
Might be a mix.
Maybe
this
that
is the
brings
other
us
thing.
together.
I
Yeah,
don't
our
actually
mix-
love.
Our mixed friendship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're mixed
We're
girls.
mixed. We're mixed.
We're mixed. Oh, we're
I-
mixed.
I wonder what
Yeah.
Wolf is. I've never thought about what his attachment style is.
I'm sure he'd love that
We're
we're breaking this down on
We're
our
in
podcast.
couples therapy and he's in therapy one-on-one. But our therapist in couples therapy, like, I don't know. I want labels, so I can like Google stuff.
Yeah,
And she's only given one label, and it was
What
a
was it?
bummer because I thought it was a compliment to me because I thought she was calling me like a porcelain doll, but she wasn't.
what do you? What
She
was that?
she told me that she thinks I was a glass child, so I thought that was like porcelain doll, but it's actually like pretty sad.
I don't know that term. What does it mean?
It's the child in the home where there was so much going on in the house and you were the only functioning part. So you had to be left alone and you had to take care of yourself so everyone else could do all the stuff they needed to deal with.
Yeah.
So like it was really embarrassing when she called me glass child. I was like, what does that mean? Like a doll, like a princess or something? Because we were having a happy session.
Right.
And she was like, no, not at all like a princess.
No.
It's like Rapunzel locked away.
I think with
I
attachment,
don't even understand that. Why does
I
it say
don't-
glass?
Because it's like you're see-through. Like you were in a house
like
where
you
no
barely exist.
no one
or
was
something?
taking care
Yeah,
of
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
because they all
You
had
weren't seen.
you were
Yeah.
glass.
Okay.
You were see-through because everyone else was doing stuff. So they had to leave you to take care of yourself. But like if something went good or bad for you, there wasn't a big reaction because they had other stuff going on.
I
Yeah,
see.
so that would make sense that maybe there would be some more like anxious attachment because if you're trying to get your parents' attention, but they're so preoccupied in what they have going on, then you're left being like, where am I? What do I, you, of course a kid wants to get the attention of their parents.
Yeah.
But if they're so in their own world. So then the thing with relationships, what happens is, so if you've ever heard, it's like relationships are like a mirror back to
Yes,
yourself.
they are.
And what happens is that they're really, and it's really, I think it's important to know that in relationships, when you get into one, something that I like to say is wait 4 seasons with a person before you make any big choices about your life together, because you need to understand them and see sort of like how they operate in day to day, but you also don't know which of your wounds are going to come up. So, and when you're in the honeymoon phase, which is like 6 to 12 months usually, depending on the couple, it can be longer, it can be shorter. When you're in that phase, you have like all these chemicals being released and you're like, this is perfect, nothing could ever go wrong, there's no issues here, and then you're attached, and then all of your traumas start to show up.
No,
And
I
you're-
seriously, like, when I was dating a lot and then met Wolf, I was like, wow, I'm like good. I'm like perfect. Like, I love my job. I love my friends. I love what I'm doing with my life. Like, I felt so like, okay, I guess I'm like complete and just ready to meet someone. And then like 7 months in, I was like, oh my God, like there's issues everywhere. And that's when I was in therapy on my own. And it was like, oh my God, there was like a whole version of me that I didn't even know existed,
Yes.
which is me and a partner.
Yes.
And it was kind of a bummer.
Yes.
I kind of was like, and that was why a big chunk of our relationship was me being like, I should just get out of this. Okay, no, I need to stay in this.
Yeah.
But it was like,
Mix.
I thought it was my mix because I'm mixed. I thought it was so bad, but it's like, you don't even know. Like there's a whole version of you that's, it's so hard, especially if you love independence and you love being on your own.
Yep.
And then you're with someone and now it's hard. My
Yeah.
brain was like,
Yeah.
well, we should
Oh,
just
it's
get out of this.
And so like, so I do somatic therapy, which just like relates to the body. So like nervous system regulation work. And you can be on your own, like totally regulated, know all the ways to take care of yourself, be like, I've got this, like I am good to go. And then you get into a relationship and you're not only getting activated by your partner, but you're also absorbing their dysregulation. Like it's such, it gets so messy so quickly,
No,
which is another
seriously.
reason to not rush into big life decisions, because you don't know what that's going to feel like until you're doing it.
Yeah.
And then the thing that you said about, I was in it for like 7 months or whatever, and then you were like, I should just get out. Every relationship replays the same cycle: rupture, repair, and reconnection.
Okay.
So no matter what relationship you're in, you will have conflict. You will have to repair the conflict, and then you'll have the choice on whether or not to reconnect. And so that doesn't change. That's a given, no matter what you're in. And the choice is, do I keep putting the effort into this person? Do I keep trying to grow with this person? Can I keep turning towards this person, even knowing that we're going to get caught in this cycle again and again? And that's where the whole like non-negotiable thing from earlier from dating comes into play. Is it, you know, does this person still align with your values? I don't really believe in the right or the wrong person. I think it's like, is it the right person who's moving in the same direction as you and wants to keep committing to a life together, you know? But you have to be discerning. That's the other thing in dating is like, and I know we've talked about this, like we're 33, single, that can become kind of like, oh my God, like existential. Am I going to be alone forever? But you'd rather wait and find the right person than end up in something and feel like you can't get out of it, like marry the wrong person.
And
right.
Like, and now that I've seen, and like, I mean, obviously we're still like a newer relationship in a lot of ways, like 4 years, we're almost at 4 years, but like, that's still like not that long for a relationship sometimes. But like, it's like, I can't like just, sorry, hold on. Let me phrase the thought. Like, it's so much work to decide to be with someone long-term and learn about their stuff, learn about your stuff, see how you work together, that it's like, oh my God, I have so much empathy for people who like are in relationships for like 12 years and then they end. 'Cause it's like, that's so much time and work. Like it's a lot of work and sacrifice and choices to stay together. So it's like, if it's the wrong person, like, oh my God, not to like make it about Bravo, but I'm thinking about what's her name and Summer House.
Kyle and Amanda.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Like they probably went through rupture repair. Like
again,
how many times?
We saw it.
And then it didn't
season.
work out. Like that's devastating.
Completely. And I think
she's so much better off without him. It's like honestly crazy.
She's gonna be really fine.
All of those girls on Bravo, Sierra, Paige, and now Amanda, they all dumped their other Bravo celebrity boyfriends or flings or situationships, and now they're like
thriving
on the red carpet somewhere or like doing a fashion promotion.
What's his name from Amanda? Kyle.
Amanda's Kyle.
Okay, thank you.
Sierra was Wes, and then Paige was with Craig.
Yes,
and now they're like Paige is like
Paige is doing really okay.
Yeah, really fine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say about that. It is really. I was in a really long-term relationship in my 20s and ended it when I was 28. I was 21 to 28 with the same person, and he was the wrong person, and we went through that cycle so many times, and my intuition knew almost the entire relationship that it wasn't the right person, but I had no idea how to tune into my intuition. I would have this like flare up where I'd be like, actually, have you read Jane Fonda's memoir? She's so great, and she's had like a lot of husbands. She's had like 7 or 8 husbands.
Love that.
She's had maybe not that many, but she's had.
That's really fun.
She's amazing, and she has this line where she says, "The minute I started fantasizing about them dying, that it would be easier for them to die than for me to get out of the relationship." And I remember when I heard that or read that, I was like, "That's how I felt." Not because I wanted the person to die, obviously. Like I want them to be okay. But it's so hard to extricate yourself from something once you've put that kind of time and energy. Yeah. And so for anyone who is, this isn't, I guess, like that, but Valentine's can just bring up a lot.
No,
like maybe
this is a good time to talk to your partner about this.
Or like if you've gotten out of something and you still feel like confused and you want to reach out to them, or you're like it can take a while. It can take a while to get over something like that, and like be really nice to yourself. It's all kind of hard. It's all hard. That's kind of the spoiler. Like, but it's amazing too. Like you learn so much. I don't regret that relationship. Yeah, I don't regret that relationship. But it took me a long time to like heal from it and move through it. Yeah. And I kept going back and you were
and
like,
also
time to go.
I don't know where your relationship.
I said he had to like leave the country.
He wasn't American.
I don't know where you were living with him, but like especially to New York City couples, like if you're living with your partner and you're like, that's a whole nother layer. Like you guys are probably living in a 1 bedroom, like you're on top of each other.
Yeah.
And like, if you have like, I don't know, if you're living with what's that girl with the pigeon who's living, I mean, they're in love. They actually just got married, but her like boyfriend was rich and their apartment was insane. It's like, well, if she wanted him dead, I feel like she could still probably convince herself to stick around.
Yeah.
Because she has all
like,
the
I
things,
feel I have empathy for New Yorkers. Like, I don't want to move out of Wolf, but like, living with someone, like it's so like in New York where there's no space to go anywhere and you're
Yeah.
on top of each other, like it's really hard to be working through conflict or
Completely.
want out if you love your apartment.
Yeah. Well,
That's
this
really
is again
stressful.
like it's like the it's when we're talking about like being in touch with your intuitive self and that like voice that knows. Like this is like in the somatic work that I do. It's like the body has all the information that you need, but we don't really know how to tune into it. So having like contemplative, reflective time for yourself, and that doesn't have to be like sitting in meditation. That can be, I don't know, like for me, I love to play music and sing, right? Or I love to
Choir.
We'll start a choir.
Thank you.
No, literally.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
And there's this girl, Lana. She also wants to be on that.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah.
I'll
I
introduce
was
you
in
to
an acapella group. We can start an acapella group.
Perfect.
We
You
need a
and
musical
Lana.
director.
That's nice.
Me and Alana.
Sorry.
I'll come to the shows.
But just something where you're tuning into like the essence of who you are, like your favorite parts of yourself. And that the more that you do that, the more of like it's a muscle that you build, the easier it will be to discern right and wrong. You know?
Yeah. There's also, I mean, you can also, your intuition when you kiss someone, I know we've talked about this, but when you first make out with someone and your stomach hurts, it means that you guys aren't meant to be because their bacteria it's literally your gut telling you that it's not a good person.
So is it true,
Is that true?
that if you get UTIs with a partner that you should leave them? Because when I first started when I first started dating Wolf, I also was sleeping with a couple other people, so that's separate. But like for like a month, I would say I was sleeping with like 3 people, and like I kept getting UTIs.
Yeah.
And then I started only dating Wolf, and I still was getting the UTIs. And this girl who I'm not friends with anymore and was a little kooky, but like she was like, that's how you know your body doesn't like your partner.
But that was about Wolf. But
That's what she said.
Well, it seems like she was wrong. No.
I know, but what do you think? I mean, I don't get the UTIs anymore, but what do you think about that?
I don't know.
Like, wait, when you say your body,
floated this to me.
when you say your
I
body
think-
is keeping
yeah.
track of it, do you
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's
What
real
voice?
physical sign, or do
Yeah,
you mean
where
like
is the
mental
voice?
intuition?
Okay, well, hold on, I gotta break this down
Who's
because your
the
question is
voice?
about who's the voice.
Yeah.
You know
Mine
the
is
voice.
physical signs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And mine's also a little physical.
So like,
signs.
okay,
It's the
I'll use
bacteria.
myself as an example.
Okay.
For just because that I don't know about the bacteria thing.
Yeah, I read
I'll
it
come
on-
back to it.
I've been learning a lot of. Do you remember the thing I told you about Bad Bunny and the bulletproof vest?
Yes.
That wasn't true.
Wait, stop!
That
I
was
told
what
everybody
I
that.
told literally
Wait,
every single
Nora,
person I
told
know. I know.
everybody that.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't. Apparently, it was just.
I
the
trust
way,
you with my news so much.
I know. I'm so
know.
sorry.
I
I'm
know.
giving out fake. When it comes to pop culture, sometimes it might be fake.
Maybe I should. Maybe you
But-
should handle politics.
Yeah.
And I'll try getting in. I'll do pop
it's
culture
just
research.
that they did a Vogue thing where they deconstructed his outfit and there was no bulletproof vest. But on TikTok, they're saying he was wearing one.
Okay, and
So,
that's
like,
why he
who
sat alone.
knows?
So back to intuition. Back to intuition.
So like inner voice
I told a lot of people.
for me when I was in my 20s and I was ignoring it all the time, it was very physical. Couldn't eat anything, couldn't digest anything, so much anxiety, feeling on edge all the time, not feeling like myself, feeling like I was putting on a personality almost, like just like I think when I say your body knows what's going on, it's like you know when you feel at ease and present and connected to someone, right? Like you know, and you know when somebody makes you feel uncomfortable and on edge. And I at least, and I think a lot of people do this, was ignoring those signs because I thought I was supposed to be in this relationship because it checked a lot of boxes, right? And I was ignoring my nervous system like going like haywire.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say. That's
about
like
physical.
That's about the physical. What was the next question?
I will say though, not to reveal so much about my relationship. I will be honest. Wolf and I are a completely different couple entering year 4 than we were entering year 1 and 2. I definitely wanted him to die in year 2. Like, I'm just going to be for real with you. Like, we kind of had a lot of upsetting things happen. And I kind of saw that he was like well, how will you fix this for me kind of guy. And I literally, one time he was flying and I was like, and now, and Wolf and I have an extremely open relationship, one-sided, of course, where I tell him every thought I have.
Yeah.
And I was honest with him. I was like, I wanted your plane to go down.
Yeah.
I was like, you caused me so much stress. Like, I can hardly take care of myself. And now, like, I have to solve your problems.
Yeah.
And we did work out of that. But I will say, toxically. Anytime we have a problem now,
You want him back on
There's
that
a little
plane.
part that's like,
there's a little part
if he
that's
was-
like, maybe should you have left him? Which
Yeah.
is like maybe not fair to say. And I say it to him every time I think it. So
Yeah.
he's not like in the dark about these thoughts. We're really open. He doesn't say it to me because I'm such a dreamboat, as you can hear. But like it's okay. It's like Wolf is really different now
Yeah.
as a partner than he was when we were dating.
Yeah.
But now I have this trigger in my brain where when he does something that causes me stress or anxiety, I do spiral back to early relationship where I'm like, you knew all along that he was kind of like this. And like, he does work really hard to be the partner that you've said you want to be with and that you saw in him.
Yeah.
But when he fails, it's like,
Yeah,
you
you
can't
jump
be
back.
surprised. You knew this. Should you get out now? I haven't thought about him dying in a while.
That's good.
I was upset after Puerto Rico, but I wanted the plane to go down for both of us.
Yeah.
But that's just because I was sad to be back from a trip.
Yeah.
Because I feel like directionless in life. So it's a
Sure.
separate issue.
Sure.
But it's like, do you think I should have left him the first time I wanted him to die?
We,
Or you think
I'm
it's
just
okay?
gonna say we have 5 more minutes.
Okay.
we're just
Oh my
gonna-
God,
we're just
no,
gonna-
really?
Yeah, but
Oh,
or we
it's
could make it a
like-
longer episode.
No, it's just like, why would I say this now?
No. I look. This is the Valentine's Day episode.
There's a lot.
There you go.
There's a lot to get
Okay.
into. The heart is so
This is the
complicated.
Valentine's
This is
Day
the Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, no. I think I'll let her take this one.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think we're okay? Tell me. My old therapist, Robert, thinks Wolf is a really good partner because he thinks he's really calm and shows up for me and doesn't react to the things that I say that I'm definitely trying to get a reaction out of.
Yeah.
But that's Robert. Where's he? He's
I-
not doing the Valentine's Day episode.
It's hard for me to say with so little context. Like I can't
Really?
tell. Here's what I would say if you were my client. And this is how much information I had.
Okay.
I would say I cannot tell you whether or not to say I can't. It's
Okay.
not my life. Like,
Okay, totally.
That would be so.
And you don't know Wolf.
And I don't know Wolf, and I don't really know the dynamic. But what I am hearing is that despite these maybe like early intuitive, like, I don't know, he's like not showing up, and maybe some of this is potential and trying to make sense of that. I'm hearing still there's something about him that you're like, but he's putting the work in and it makes me feel good. And I do love him and I feel committed to this and we're committed to each other and trying to work it out.
And I do feel really safe with him. And
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a partner that I can say every thought to.
Yeah.
And they're still like, okay, thank you for telling me that. Should we order sushi tonight? Like, do you want to get a movie and talk about the stuff
he
of the
keeps it
movie?
moving. He keeps it,
Yeah.
and it seems like he has capacity to be like, okay.
Sometimes
yep,
he freaks out
that's-
a little and it's like,
Sure.
get it together.
Yeah.
But then,
understand.
but for the most part, I get to like freak out.
I think if you feel safe and you feel like this is someone you like respect and admire and your values align and you want the same things out of life right now, it doesn't seem like you want to jump ship. It
No.
doesn't sound like it. It
I
sounds
don't
like
think
you're
so.
having natural questions.
But it was crazy that I stayed with him. I will say to anyone that feels like they want their partner to die, you should probably leave. Like Wolf and Wolf is different.
But I will say,
and he's
when
unfortunately in training.
when I give that example, there is a lot of context about my ex a couple exes ago that I'm not sharing
Okay.
that made the relationship like pretty unhealthy.
Okay.
There was a lot wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I was super young. I was like 21, 22. I couldn't see it because we were so codependent. And there were behaviors that were sort of like normal in our early 20s and then became like not so normal, right? Like I don't really want to blow up
Yeah.
this person and whatever, but it sounds different.
Okay.
He wasn't a safe person
Okay.
for me at the time,
Okay. Got it.
right? Like,
Okay.
and that's an important distinction.
Okay. It is crazy though, just be real, to think it'd be easier if they had died. It is a crazy, like when you say it to someone who's never thought it, they're like, you're insane.
Yeah.
But it's
if
like,
you've thought it,
you're like,
you're like,
no, I
no,
don't
it would
want
be easier.
them to die. But like at that point, it would have just taken this off my plate immediately.
well, and I just think that is indicative of like, okay, what are you missing for yourself in your life? Like, what are you not getting? For me, if I could go back to 25-year-old me, I would be like, what is it about your life that you feel so out of control?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it was about him, but it wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
I should have, or not should have. if I could go back, if I could like go whisper in her ear, I would be like,
Fuck it,
go on more trips with your girlfriends, move to New York because you want to, like do the things that you're excited to do, and go do the yoga teacher training now instead of waiting 7 years. Like I would have, but there were other things going on. The reality was like the situation was hard. It was kind of untenable, but it's not about like, I don't know. It's not about obviously wanting them to die. It's about like what feels so out of control in your own life that feels like the easiest out.
And I think, and at this point when I felt it, we were not living together, but like it really, like if I wanted to leave the relationship now, which I don't, but like there's so much now, like leaving it would mean someone needs to move out. We have a dog together. Like there's so everything financially is split way differently than it would have been if I was alone. Like it's more just like, I feel like when you think like, okay, I want them to die, because then it solves this problem of like, well, of course someone has to move out. Of course someone has to. Like,
I know it.
It just
It's
solves
like,
all those problems for you instead of having like 20 million hard conversations.
you just have to figure out like,
And there'd probably be like a meal train because someone died. You know when they do that?
yeah. That
Do you know what I'm talking
No, I'm not. No.
When someone dies and people put together a meal train so all your food is taken
Oh
care of.
yeah. No, I would definitely
You
cook
do.
for you.
meal train.
I think we're
at-
at
Well, it's a
time.
fun way to wrap it up.
But did you?
Maybe we should have done relationship first.
So on that note, happy Valentine's Day, and
Just be with who you love.
just
Take care of yourself first.
take care of
Yes,
yourself
that is-
first. Though.
Take care of
You
yourself.
know?
Put the airplane mask on.
Mhm,
Yourself
put it on first.
Yes. And Emma, where can people, if they were like listening to this and they're like, I want her to be my therapist,
Which I think they will.
yeah, like literally,
That's how I'm feeling.
literally, yeah.
I'm like, we need to walk home together maybe.
So you can go to my website. So emmahaberman.com, EMMAHABERMAN.com. And then I'm on TikTok at Align with Emma.
Align with Emma.
Align with Emma.
And yeah, thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Emma.
so much for coming on.
Yeah.
So fun. What a
I
dream.
learned so much.
Yeah, and happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Bye.